The ripple effects of Russia's war in Ukraine, alongside the COVID slowdown that continues to batter China's spills big trouble for the global economy. Alarm bells are ringing loud for 2023. The International Monetary Fund warns that a third of the global economy will slip into recession this year. IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva says that 2023 will be tougher than last year as the US, EU, and China see their economies plunge. Earlier in October, the IMF had cut its global economy growth outlook for 2023 due to the war in Ukraine, as well as higher interest rates. Georgieva's comments will be alarming for people around the world, not least in Asia, which endured a difficult year in 2022. Inflation has been steadily rising across the region, largely because of the war in Ukraine, while higher interest rates have also hit households and businesses. Strong indications have emerged of China, the world's largest economy, facing a difficult start to 2023. Georgieva said the impact on Chinese growth, the impact on the region, and the impact on global growth would be negative. The downturn in the United States also means there is less demand for the products that are made in China and other Asian countries, including Thailand and Vietnam. Higher interest rates also make borrowing more expensive. Forecasts are companies may choose not to invest in expanding their businesses, but there is also word of a silver lining and light at the end of the tunnel. The IMF had said that the U.S. economy is standing apart and may avoid outright construction. Last year, in the most aggressive policy tightening since early 1980s, the Fed lifted its benchmark policy rate from near zero in March to the current range of 4.25% to 4.50%. Okay, to make sense of all of this, we are joined by business analyst and economist Daniel Gertrude, joining us live from Nutley, New Jersey. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. Well, it wasn't long ago when Janet Yellen said that inflation will be transitory. President Joe Biden said for us not to worry about recession here in the United States, at least. Now the IMF is warning that a third of the global economy will be in recession this year. How did we get here?
We got here primarily because initially from COVID. And what that did is when you look at supply and demand, COVID took down supply. That interruption of the supply chain with demand staying steady is what caused the situation to happen as it is now. So when we look at what's happening in terms of in China, huge amounts of product come from China. They're still battling COVID, shutdowns, and they're just coming out of now this COVID zero policy. But what's happening? Everyone is getting sick. So again, we still have a problem in getting enough supply to the market to meet demand, and therefore inflation stays in place.
And what, in your opinion, can economies do to duck the worst?
This is a really difficult challenge. What we see around the world, not just in the United States, is the increasing of interest rates. Why? To try to slow down demand and bring supply and demand in balance. Is it working? I would say yes, but is it going to get us there? No, because what we're doing is we're trying to kill the demand, which brings a slowdown to economies, which ultimately can roll us into a recession worldwide. So the key here is to figure out how to repair the supply chains.
And, you know, the big question that everyone is asking is when do you see the world coming out of this? I know it's the beginning. Some are saying that we're already in a stagflation. Light at the end of the tunnel. When?
I wish I knew that answer for sure. However, if I had to make a prediction, I think the first half of 2023 is going to be difficult. I see as we get past the midway point of the year, going into 2024, I think we will see improvement by that point.